It wasn't easy, and you might be angry. Get rid of that now. In fact, I think we should. On the dark side of the moon, which is not good for us because we're solar powered, and that's all we've got. I have an interesting encounter. We're actually very close to an encounter. Did not realize we were that low. We were on a total thing, which makes this a little more difficult. But actually, you know what? Ooh, we are lower than I thought. Uh-oh. Anything will do, let's be entirely honest. Welcome back to Kerbalish. And yeah, you find us on the moon with a rover, and you've not seen this before, so I should really show you how it got here. It wasn't easy, and you might be angry. And as if by magic, we're on the launch pad again, and we are launching another craft. This is going to be Lunar 3, which is hopefully going to go and land on the moon. I don't really mind where it lands, because we've got a bon voyage. Of course, ideally we'd land it near the site. We're going to see if this can actually complete the mission. So let me get this into orbit, let's get to the moon, and then we can get the landing stuff underway. What I should add is we're using the same launch stage here as we used for the last mission. So this first stage, and actually the second stage, is the same, and that's going to be overkill. But the actual additional cost for building this, based on what we've used before for the rovers, was so small that I thought, you know what, just go for it. We have these extra little gimbly engines on there just to give it a little bit more control, and it should be hopefully fine. The biggest problem we've had with the rovers is actually, get rid of those boosters, is getting them out of the atmosphere. Once they're out of the atmosphere, they seem to be okay, so let us continue. This is a much smoother ride to orbit than we had with the previous crafts. I think those additional engines there, what are they? The Cub verniers attached to these Reliants are actually just giving us such lovely control. And you can see they are attached at 45 degrees, so that they actually, because they only gimbal in one direction, they can work in pairs, but opposite sort of pairs and cross pairs, to try and give us full gimbal control. Now we're going to just pull this right down because I need to get ourselves into orbit. As with last time, we are a little bit early for our inclination, so we're going to pull it down just south of the line, as it were, and just hope that does it. Get rid of those. Oh, we've lost the fairing as well, a little early, but that's what happens when you press the button, and you shouldn't, I suppose. Right, we're going to do that. I'm going to pop this over here, and then we're going to rotate a bit so that I keep myself level in my own mind. There we go. And of course, you can now see the rover on the top there. We've made some modifications. We have added some landing legs. I'm going to check, are the wheels all level? They look as though they might actually be level for once. I have canted them outwards a little bit, so that might cause a problem, but we will see. So let's continue to check on this. We are, let's have a look, 2.3, 2.2. So this is going well. I think this should, if I'm right, come up nicely. So we'll just let it keep going. So we're 0.9 degrees out. So I think we went a little bit early, but not a major issue for us. And then we can just do this to cancel all of this out, get us into the orbit. And there we go. That should be perfect. And with one burn, we put ourselves into orbit. We had a little bit of fun there. We've got 800 meters per second left on this stage, which is going to make the transfer to the moon really easy. We could actually go straight into just a crash on the surface if we wanted to. So let's get ourselves out there and hopefully not crash on the way. Now I'm just plotting our maneuver, and I think we're going to end up with the Earth being on the dark side of the moon, which is not good for us because we're solar powered, and that's all we've got. But to be fair, we can try and land sort of. We could potentially land all over the place, but we'll have a look. Anyway, any landing site is fine for us. What I did notice though is we've got a mission soon to rescue Ribgel and what's it called, Elcan. Yeah, got Ribgel and Elcan. So interestingly, they are both pretty much in the same orbit. I think it's probably near it's not actually, is it? Because that's geostationary. It's well above geostationary, but they do have, their orbits do seem to pass each other. What I will do is I'm swinging this around. I am actually using electricity up, but I'm noticing that as long as we have not the tail of this pointing towards the sun, we tend to be okay. So we should be okay with this because we're going to be heading pretty much towards the sun. The only problem we will have is if the moon actually ends up occluding the sun from us, which is quite possible on our flight path. So we'll have to see. And with that, we have Lunar 3 on its way to the moon to join its sister craft. Well, its sibling. I'm not sure if it's a sister. It's sibling Lunar 2, and we won't talk about Lunar 1. Lunar 1's the black sheep of the family. Doesn't understand what it is to be a rover, and instead decided to be an interplanetary probe. So we don't talk about them. So yeah, we're going to burn this off. You'll notice it's actually, most of this burn is going to come from that first stage. We're going to get a little punch from this one, but it's actually quite interesting. We've got so much fuel here. We could have actually got rid of this stage, I think, and probably made it to orbit, and still actually used this for the first stage for some sort of orbital sort of slowdown. Oh, there we go. Have we got fire? Have we got fire? There we go. Right, let's get this going. Actually, I don't know if that stage finished then, or if I hit the stop thrusting button. That's a concern. I may have actually just fired it early because I was getting so carried away. Right. I don't know why I have a probe core on here, actually, thinking about it. We have a probe core up here. This is a probe core. I'm not entirely sure we have a probe core here. We could just extend it. We could have just had this stack. This stack, of course, is to enable us to have a nice, smooth sort of fairing on there. This is not ideal for this size of craft, though. This is definitely not what I would want. Right, we're now coming in. So let's position us on there. We're going to get rid of that, and we're just going to go in slowly. And what we're looking for is we're just looking to get close to the planet, to the moon. Give it a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is tight, isn't it? Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. That's okay. Right, now all we got to do is we got to put a maneuver there, and we got to stop. So it's going to be a 5-day trip. It's a slow one. It's not speedy. It's not Speedy Gonzales, but it's okay. 16 by 26. Anything will do. Let's be entirely honest. And of course, as we're traveling through space, we are running out a bit on time in the Venus window, which of course we will be launching to at a reasonable time, hopefully. We are now around the moon. Well, we're not around the moon. We're about to fly past the moon, but we're gonna swim this around. We've got plenty of electric charge. We're on the light side of the moon. Of course, now we don't have that big long rocket behind us. We can spin around really quickly. We've got a lot of slowdown because of parallax there. Just imagine it's the signal being bounced off the band things or stuff and things. Right. Doesn't parallax make this surface look nicer? I do like that. Right. We're coming in, and I'm actually going to look at the time to periaps, and we're going to fire a little early. I think we're going to fire now. So let's fire now. I do miss having landing control and retrograde prograde marker. I think definitely one of the things I miss with probe cores at this point is you tend to have your pilots be better, so it makes more sense. Even though we started off without crew, the pilots are now better than the actual probe cores, so it's sort of a bit of an odd one. You want your good probe cores earlier on almost to stop you pushing to pilots, because it is actually an easier thing to land a pilot right now. There we go, a little bit more I think. So it's a bit of an odd one actually, probes before crew, because you do get to that point where, well, I want to actually just land. Now, what am I getting signal from? Where am I bouncing? Let's have a look. We are here. What are we bouncing our signal off actually? Oh, we're direct to Earth. You know what? I think we just go for a landing direct. If we hit it hard, land here, drive up to rover 2. I think that's probably going to be the right thing. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we could land there. That's Lunar 1B. Oh, wow, that's Lunar 1B. So we could actually have just got Lunar 1B and just landed next to it. That's quite cool. I quite like that. We're sort of visiting Lunar 1B. We should do that. We should land at Lunar 1B if we can, or near it, and we'll take the rover there first. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. What I am going to have to be aware of is just what we're doing here. We are getting energy from the sun, so that's good. It's a perfect situation for landing. I do not want to land in a crater. I would like to land around here if I have to, but maybe further. I may actually even thrust backwards a bit and then have us come in the other way so we can land there, which is what, 17 kilometers away. We could drive to that. That's drivable. Yeah, let's just kill this and then send us back. Actually, no, this is reasonably flat. Let's just zero this out. There we go. Right. I think that's us going pretty much straight down. Right, where are we? Inexorably, when you don't have the ability to sort of aim prograde and retrograde, you get a bit of lateral movement. That's the big issue I have. So we're going to put the brakes on, put those down. You can see the legs there. That's nice. We could probably actually get rid of that now. In fact, I think we should. Oh, actually, you know what? Oh, we are lower than I thought. Uh-oh. Did not realize we were that low. We were on a total thing. We should be okay. I'm hoping that we're going to be okay. 60, yeah, we're going to be fine. That is good. Got that thing to crash down. It's now gone. Okay, so it's hit. So if we hadn't fired our engines, that's when we would have hit the surface. So we are just burning the engines slowly. I don't like shutting the engines off, and I think that's possibly from the realism aspect of it. I don't know. It seems a bit weird me saying that, doesn't it? We're completely not a realistic craft. So you can see we've moved the engines down to the ends of the legs. Got these here. I'm imagining pipes are running down here. And if worse comes to worse, we break the legs, we break the wheels, and we have to land again with a different craft. And what's so bad about that, eh? Right, there we go. Slow this down a bit. Take it down to there, I think. Get it down a bit. Down, ship, down. There we go. We're going to take it down nice and slow. We want to land as slowly as possible because I'm not entirely sure what's going to hit first. And let it just fall a bit. I don't like doing that. I'm going to... Oh. There we go. Oh. Brakes are on. That was rough. That was not a good landing. Let's be entirely honest. Decouple that. And then fire your engines. Yeah, there we go. And then we don't care about you. Get back to you. Right. Let's have a look. Are we okay? Is everything good? Everything looks good. Everything looks good. That's going to land over there. And... Whee, that was a bit of a... Ooh, ow. Okay. We could go and have a look at it. Let's see if... Can you navigate? Control panel, please. Let's have a look. Still showing rover 2. Oh, this needs to be renamed. We need to rename this before we do anything. So what I've actually done is I've turned steering off on all the other wheels apart from the front ones. We're going to let it just roll down there. And how's it doing? How stable is this? It does seem nice. What are we doing like for Observe Mystery Goo? So it's a new one. It is not. It's because we've got something already. So we'll just see if we can get through here. See if, how's it going? How the brakes working for us? Brakes work okay. Yeah, they do. So we could do this. Now, of course, in an ideal world, we would we'd have a computer doing this for us. So we're going to get that to do it for us. We're going to do that. Still no target found. It's almost like if you target the ground, the object, it doesn't like it. It's too low. What do you mean rover's power production is too low? I think you'll find they're perfectly fine. Broken, repair from... How are they broken? Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, this is... Those panels are not broken. They're perfectly functional. Right. In future, we land something with panels that we pop out afterwards. This is just getting silly now. Yeah, so solar panels are broken. Which, for me, as this is the third attempt at a rover on the moon, the first one obviously flew into the middle of nowhere. The second one landed with broken wheels. This one landed okay, but then its carrier craft decided it was going to destroy its solar panels. I could have sent another one to the surface. I could have had it with fold-out panels. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with it. Yeah. So I have gone in and edited the save file. Yeah. You can edit the save file and change it from, I believe it's broken to deployed, which is very odd considering it's a plain panel, but it's what they consider to be active, I think. So that I've turned them on, because all we would have done was taken the same craft, landed it again, and I'd have decoupled it slightly differently. And that makes for, number one, boring play, but mainly it makes for terrible, terrible viewing for you lot. So just imagine this is Lunar 4 or 3B or something like that. So that's what we're going to do with it. So what we actually have to do now is try and get it to its destination. So I need to do something about that. So we're going to go up to here. We're going to go to there, and it's found a route. So we're going to click go, and then we can move on. Here we are on the pad, and I think I'm in about the right position for the moon. We'll probably find that that's completely wrong. Here is the craft. Yes, we have a very chunky craft up here. I do have bigger tanks, but I just thought we'd use this launcher. So what have we got? We have a Kerbal on board, but there is no parachutes on the craft itself. I believe she has a parachute that she can use if everything goes horribly wrong. There is no heat shield though, so once the thing's in orbit, she's staying there until we rescue her. So Melcal is on board. The reason she's on board is because I forgot to put a control core on when I was building it, or at least I can't remember putting one and I don't want to risk not having one. So that's the reason. I could have gone to launch it and then figured out if there was one or not, but also having a pilot on orbit is quite useful. We're going to put it into orbit around Earth, and then I'll decide whether we're going to take it to the moon or not. We are approaching, let me just check the alarm clock. We have got 9 minutes until the Venus mission supposedly is supposed to launch. So we're gonna get this thing up there. What I will do is actually cancel that. So we know the next launch is going to be Venus, independent of what happens with this. So let's get this thing going, I think. Fire the engines. There we go. Oh, lovely. You will see we have 2 of these. What are these engines? These are the Kodiaks I've not used pretty much ever. I think I tried them when they first came out. Oh, no, actually, I wasn't even playing Kerbal at that point. I tried them probably when I came back into Kerbal, and I didn't like them because they have a lack of gimbal. But then we've got these engines with a lot of gimbal, so that's good. We are up at 70 meters per second. We're going to do a little roll. There we go. Just hold that. Probably be a good idea if I put the SAS on. Just realised that I didn't have the SAS on there. That's a nice approach that you've got there, Sea Monsters. We just launched that without any SAS, and we didn't fall over, which is always a positive, isn't it? Apple axis is going up. You know what? I've been playing Kerbal 2 recently, and this is so nice having just this. It's clean. It's a clean UI. It's simple. I don't need 85 little boxes sticking out on their own. Well, unless I'm playing RP1, and then I do need that quite a lot, in fact. But yeah, I like this interface. I love it. Must make the Kerbal 2 interface a bit smaller. Oh, get rid of those side boosters. That was a bit terrible of me. That's a waste of fuel there, isn't it? Yeah, we should have enough Delta V to do this mission. I think there should be more than enough with these 2 stages to get us up there into orbit, sort of thing. I do note that we are actually we're a little bit off my target, as it were. So I may want to just bring it back up into line. We will see once we get into the thinner atmosphere. What we'll do is we'll pop this down, and I will just pop it to about there. There, that's where I want to be, just there. Yeah, and I want to pull this prograde marker up onto the 90, just because I can. And that's relative to the surface, isn't it? At some point we'll go into relative to the plane, but yeah, whatever. There we go. Right, get us onto that. There we go. Wunderbar. I wonder what I should really set our target of the moon, shouldn't I? Where's the moon? There we are. Set as target. Can I now see my air ascending and descending? No, to 6 degrees. That's terrible. Wow, that is actually. Can I do a bit of that? Yep, that is actually doing really well. Guess we launched okay in the end. Just do that and do that and do that, and then pull it back to the marker. Oh, there we are. Got some engines gone out again. Get rid of those. Thank you very much. Wunderbar. And I'm going to cut my power when we get to up there a bit. Let's have a look. We're still in the atmosphere and we're a bit wobbly at this point, so we'll wait until we get to about 90 or so. And then we can have a look at it. There we go. About 90. I should probably get rid of this fairing, shouldn't I? Yeah. There we go. So there you go. You can see that. You can see the station underneath there. Cupola. And a crew support cabin there, so that will be our control. I don't believe I've got a control thing on here anyway. I've used, for the first time, I think ever, the Rockomax Max multi-port hub connector, just because it looked cool. And I thought we'd give that a go. I think that was a nice idea by me, but yeah. Not entirely sure. I don't want that. I want that partial. Extend it. What's this one on? Don't want that. Warning, interruption. Extend that antenna as well. Right, should probably actually have a look at getting this into orbit, you know, at some point, instead of just messing around. Press the app button to get me onto my target. There we go. 1 minute until that maneuver. Is that going to be a problem for us? Possibly. Put me onto my node. Get that going. Do we have a decent... that's the other thing. I don't really have a reaction wheel in here, so... Imagine this craft without a Kerbal on board using the reaction wheel of that cupola module. I never use the cupola module normally. It's sort of like, I like to build my stations so that there's like ports at both ends, because I tend to dock normal anti-normal and have the station sit normal anti-normal. Get off. But yeah, I think probably should let's fire the engines actually. Probably should not do that anymore, because I try and make things aesthetically more pleasing and a bit more. We're around Earth after all, or Kurth, so it should be better. All right. Melcal, we are about to get into orbit, and then I think we might leave you in orbit. We're not like that sounds terrible. Might leave you in orbit just to do your stuff and things, get yourself sorted before we actually transfer you, because I want to launch the Venus mission. Also means we might turn this into the Earth station. I haven't decided. While we're doing this, let's extend the solar panel because it's got them. Get the sunlight going. You'll notice I put some little ones on. The plan being we're going to extend it and then put other things on for the electricity and things like that. So not a massive thing there. Right, here we go. We are now beyond our periaps point. Sorry, our apoaps point. So we are falling. So we have to be aware of that, because this is one of the big things I have with maneuver nodes. Sometimes you want to actually start the burn before it a little bit. And yeah, I've become lazy. I have become lazy in my old age. There we go. That's good enough. I think what I'll just do is we'll position you on the normal or the anti-normal or something like that. We'll do that. Get rid of that. We'll put you on the normal, anti-normal. And we'll just sit you there. The positive is, if we put a science station, a science thing on this, Melcal can then be upgraded while on orbit. So she never technically needs to return to Kerbin again. If we actually build space station stuff, she could actually stay on orbit or on Moon for decades, in fact. I think it's time to leave the solar system. Not the solar system, the Earth system. We're going to be in the solar system still. Right, so here we are with Venus Horizon 1. You'll see it uses the same launcher that we've just used for the station. That's one of the reasons why I used that launcher for the station, actually, and why we're doing this one. So we are, I think, going to send 2 craft. I think I'm going to send 2 craft to Venus. Let's launch this thing and get it going. I think I'm going to send 2 craft to Venus. Main reason being that we have 2 missions. We have a mission which is to do a flyby, and we have a mission which is to put a relay or communication satellite in orbit around Venus. Let me find it. It's over on the right hand side here. So it actually says, where are we? Venus, 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 Venus. Venus relay. That's the orbit below there, 15G. Now, interestingly, I do not have a transmitter that will do 15G, so I need to send one with 2 transmitters. This has 1 transmitter, so this will do the flyby at least. If everything goes wrong, we'll get the flyby. The second one we'll have 2 transmitters. That's pretty much the only difference between the 2 of them, I think. We need to actually better see what altitude we're going. So again, I'm going to launch into roughly the plane of the moon, but I'm not too worried about it. The moon tends to be in line with the sort of orbital planes of the other planets and things, so that's sort of a positive. Ooh, we have got an issue here with holding it, because I've remembered oh, there we go. We've got those out of the way. Get rid of those, thank you. We've actually not got much in the way of control here. It's limited, shall we say. So it is a lot of thrust vectoring and stuff, but it does not want to stay on target very well. Let me put it that way. We're at 30. This is a big beast of a rocket, actually. It's got a lot of delta V because it's got such a tiny payload on. The reason I've done that is because, well, to put it simply, I don't know how much delta V this is going to take. The charts tell me one thing, I'm sure. I've not played Kerbin scale versions of this before. I'm not building the craft to do it, you know, as if it was real scale, but I'm not entirely sure how much delta V I'm going to need for this. What I do know is I'm going to just bring this down a bit. I'm going to bring this down a bit, and we're going to just do that. There we go. About 100 kilometer orbit is fine. There we go. Not perfectly circular, but we'll live with it. You can see I've got a lot of delta V on this. I think that's enough to get it to Venus and beyond, actually. And then I think this is just overkill. We could probably land on Venus, actually, and then never get our craft back again. We could do... Ooh, now there's a thought. We could potentially do a flyby of Venus, bring the whole craft back and get the biological samples back. That is something to think about, isn't it? That would be quite cool. I have got well, I say I have got an encounter. I don't. I have an interesting encounter. We're actually very close to an encounter. The issue I have is we are now going past the moon, which makes this a little more difficult. I'm sort of thinking, do I just go for it and then refine it later? Is it that I've got a draw issue because you can only do a certain number of steps, as it were? We're going into Planetary and do a little burn just to sort it out, I think is what we're going to do. Yeah, I think that's the best idea. And one of the joys I have of going to the inner planets is that you are doing your burns on the light side of the planet, on the light side of Earth. So you can actually see what's going on. One of the big problems I always find going to the outer planets, even if it's in normal Kerbal system or in RSS or anything like that, is your burns are always in the dark, because you're always burning sort of backwards, you're forwards. You're always trying to, depending upon your orbit launch, but yeah, if you launch the way we do, you tend to always be aiming to go outwards, and so you're always burning on the dark side of the Earth, which is a little annoying. But I suppose you could launch it the way, but on Earth in particular, that is quite a lot of delta V that you're wasting. It's big and chunky. Let's fire it. Whereas this thing is much more nimble without it, so we may get rid of this just as we finish this burn. Right, there we go. We're now on the, out of the sphere of influence, and we'll stop it there. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it, sea monsters. It's 400 meters per second, but you've got a lot. If we end up being short by 400 meters per second for something we want to do, that's fine. I'll blame myself. That is nice. That's actually closer than we were going to be. So yeah, that's an actual better approach. I'm going to go and launch its sibling off camera and get it on its way as well. If there's anything interesting, I will jump back and show you though. Well, it seems that the second launch was about the same as the first, but actually getting our encounter was a little easier. I think we might still have a moon encounter. I need to check that. I don't know. I don't think we do. I think we're actually missing the moon encounter. Oh, yes, we do. We do have the moon encounter, and it's probably, yeah, it is. It's about the same as the last one. We are ready to go with this burn. It is going to be quite a long one, a 1 minute burn. That's quite a lot. We're going to get this thing fired. Off we go. Went a little second early there, but that's because we're going to possibly have to tidy it up afterwards. And then we could just, we're about to leave the sphere of influence. There we are, and got rid of that. We're going to dump that, even though we're losing slightly less in the way of delta V than we did last time. However, our payload is bigger, slightly. Not massively. I mean, we've got an extra dish on it. That's about it. Onwards and upwards. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. We've done the rover landing. We've done the departures of the Venus craft. We've done the putting the space station into orbit. I think next time we'll potentially have the Venus craft getting somewhere. We might move the space station to the moon. And we'll see what's going on. So from me, until next time, have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like. Or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.